Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Black Forest coming to you with another pre-market analysis video. This morning, we're going to be looking at the USD Japanese yen. But before we get to breaking down this word pair, we have to state that this video is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice, but we all know why you're here to find good, credible Forex content on YouTube that can improve one's ability as a trader and help put some more money in your pocket. So with that being said, let's go ahead and see what we can do to help you out with that, okay? All right, so here at Black Forest, before we like to get into the technical analysis of everything, we like to examine what's been going on with the fundamentals. Okay, so let's talk about the state of the USD. As we stated in previous videos, the USD is weak due to the inflation being suffered by the American economy. We've had very poor USD news come out over the last several trading days. So it does not look like there's not going to be any turning in the tide in the USD anytime soon. Now, the only thing that can switch over the USD from performing from weak to strong in this current trading climate is geopolitical events such as the Ukraine-Russia incident. During this incident, the USD has acted as a non-traditional safe haven currency, and it has gained immediate strength anytime the European conflict looked like it could spill over into a global conflict. Okay, so that's one thing we're going to have to watch out for. All right. The Japanese yen is relatively weak. It's been relatively one of our weaker currencies over the last several trading weeks. It has had several good economic news to come out, but inflation and recession, these things act like an overall dark cloud that hangs over your economy. So no matter how good your economic news is, it's not gonna be enough to push the currency towards a strong without the inflation being combated through economic policy. Okay. And also, the Japanese yen is also a traditional safe haven currency as well, in which, if global panic starts to happen, its value will increase very rapidly and it will get very, very strong. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's look at the technical analysis. Okay, since about the January 27th now, we've been bouncing between these two price points of 115 and 114. With every time we get into the 115 area, we go down. With every time we get into the 114 area, we go up. And we're looking like we're respecting that same trajectory of bouncing between these two price points. And this is too because you have two weak currencies currently battling it out, and neither one of them can stake supremacy over the other. Now, the only way there's going to get any type of momentum or trajectory with this currency pair to push it towards a long or the short position is if one of them becomes much more significantly weaker than the other. So if the Japanese yen becomes much more significantly weaker than the USD, then you will start to see a push up. If the USD becomes much more significantly weaker than the Japanese yen, then you will see a push down. But for the most part, we're looking like we're going to be trading this range where we're going to be bouncing between 115 and bouncing between 114. This looks like this is going to continue for quite some time to each respective country's currency make some type of economic policies that can combat the inflation. But with this overall issue with gas and them banning Russian gas all around the world, inflation is only going to get worse and worse and worse and worse till we lead into eventually a global recession, which I predict is going to happen by the summertime. But for trading purposes, you can trade this range with every time it goes here, you place a short position, and every time it goes to this area here, you place a long position. But my personally theories and strategies as a trader is I don't like to trade consolidation because all it takes is one news report. Or because one thing you have to understand what moves the markets, it's not actual news. The perception of news will also move the market. So what people think may happen will cause the markets to move just as much as things actually happen. So it can at any time it can break this 115 extreme or it can break this 114 extreme. And you don't want to be in the opposite position of that. It's going to hit your stop loss. Okay. But for the most part, looks like continuing. We're going to be going down for throughout the rest of this trading week, unless we do have a significant shift in the Japanese yen and it becomes very much more weaker than the USD, then we will have a break towards this way. But if the USD becomes much more weaker than the Japanese yen, we'll have a break towards the short position. Okay, hope that information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.